And in a village, you have your hunters, your gatherers, your ceremonial people, your caretakers, your boat makers, we call tomos, or your bow maker that makes bows for a hunter. So in a village, it's like a co-op, like a cooperación. It's like you hunt the ones that go in the ocean to bring back fish, or they go to the islands to bring back the olvera shells, the koi, the money, because we made the money on the islands. They would be kind of like the rich people that had the knowledge of the ocean and they could travel on the ocean. And our tamols, our boats, they were made out of redwood. Like a big log would wash up and we would split it into planks and then we would sew them together with asphaltum and our twine. And then we would seal them with the asphaltum, so the buoyancy, and we would make them in a way where you could put, when the Spaniards came by here, sometimes you see a boat that had 2-3 people, or some that had 12 people, like 35 footers, 40 footers. And everybody's paddling out, and they greet the Spaniards. But we had boats that carried cargo or stuff from the islands, or some to go out just to fish along the kelp. So you had the Tomo, the Brotherhood of the Tomo, the people that were the boat people and brought all the ocean stuff. And then you had the hunters that would go out and hunt, and they'd come back, and they would share the meat with everyone. The hunters and gatherers that harvested nuts, acorns, black walnut, different plants, resources, they would bring food in and everybody would share together. The caretakers that took care of the kids or the elders that did their part, everybody worked together. And that's the kind of a working order that the village worked off of. Village, you would live where the surrounding resources was enough to sustain that village. You don't put a bunch of villages together when you only have one creek and waterway, so many deer, so many plants, because you're going to use all the resources from that area. You would have another village down like where you guys are coming to different canyons. You'd find different villages and different canyons because there was abundant resources in that area and fresh water. Okay? Or else you'd move around seasonally to different areas and let that regrow, recoup. Let those deers have more babies and all that. So you have to be aware in your connection to the environment around you. So in different tribal areas, we had them out in the desert or by Mount Pinos, by Santa Clarita, Manchimont area. Mm-hmm. We had some down by Bakersfield and Tehachapi. And then we had them at Point Conception over there where California does that point. That's the western gate of the Chumash people. And here in Malibu, which is Malibu. So all these areas from traveling up and down the coast. Now remember I told you, they say the Chumash have been here 15,000 years. Mm-hmm. Well, in the beginning, there used to be another island out there. But the water has risen 150 feet in the past 15,000 years. So when the water was lower, we used to go on a Tomo on the boat and land. And between Ventura and Santa Cruz Island, there used to be another little island. So we'd go there and then take off to the island. Along the whole coast, there used to be a lot of these, we call these houses ops, these Chumash houses. They would be all along the coast. But now that the water has risen, they're underwater. Old villages are. We did a study on children and people that live in schools or neighborhoods around where they grow strawberries. And they use a poison that's called methylbromine. We sued the state that they reduced that because we found that it was causing cancer to people. Mercury in fish, we did a study because the bigger the fish is, the more mercury it has because it bioaccumulates in their blood, in the body. It never goes away. So when you see the big swordfish or the big halibut, you know a polar bear, when it dies, it's considered a toxic hazard because they have eaten all these different big fishes and mammals and other creatures that their blood has become poisonous. That's what we've done to this earth. We have to stop that. It's your generation. You're the next mother, father, teacher, leader. You're the next lawyer. You're the next generation. So as you're growing up and you're finding your way through this life, then you make the best choice that you can. We have a saying that we tell our children. If you put your hand out like this, and you see that circle right there, that belongs to you. If you don't want anyone to come into that circle, you tell them to stay away. Don't let them into your circle. You have that right. Just because you're little and you have something to say, if you want to go talk about something in some kind of hearing or some public thing and say that you care about this or that, you have every right. Just because you're little and young doesn't mean you can't. There's old people that are out there that they don't even care. But that's not fair to you. So you have a right to be heard. You have a right to keep away from what's yours. So take advantage of that. Take advantage of that.